the weather. Here's Alex.
Thanks, Harriet. Hello there. It was a bit of a foggy start for some of us this morning. This photograph was taken by a weather watcher in Norfolk. Now, a lot of the fog has lifted, so we're seeing a lot of cloud out there. It's still mild for now, but it is going to turn colder by the end of the week. Quite a chilly feel to things with the return of frosts. So look at the pressure pattern at the moment. We've got high pressure over the top of us, so not a lot of change. The winds are very light, so any mist and fog has lifted into low-level cloud. It's producing a little bit of drizzle in places. It's still relatively mild though. 10 Celsius are expected high with a light wind. Not a lot of change for the afternoon. We'll still see a few bits of damp, drizzly weather, perhaps the odd break in the cloud across the north and west, but most of us will continue to see cloud and that mist and fog reforming this evening overnight. No warnings issued as yet, but that could change as visibility reduces into the evening and overnight. Temperature-wise, well, most of us are free of a frost around 4 to 6 Celsius, but just up at that northwestern corner, perhaps where there's some gaps in the cloud, we could just be close enough for a touch of ground frost. Looking ahead, high pressure pulling away to the east. We start to get some drier continental air, but it's going to take its time. So Thursday looks like a repeat performance of today. A lot of fog around at first. Some of us could find that fog lingers through the day. Misty conditions, low level cloud, fairly damp. Perhaps into the afternoon, a few gaps appearing, but on the whole, it's looking fairly overcast and temperatures down a little on today, 8 or 9 degrees. But towards the end of the week, we start to get some colder air from the continent moving up from the south. So it is going to turn chillier, but also brighter, but we've still got that risk of fog. So it is looking a little uncertain as to how much brightness we see here in the east. We could see some sunshine, or we could end up with fairly foggy conditions. But what looks certain is that trend for those temperatures to drop by day and of course by night as well. Our overnight lows dropping again once more with the return of frosts. Harriet.
Thanks, Alex. That
obviously loves Ipswich, which is fantastic. I think Debbie really enjoyed meeting him, actually.
Yeah, that looked fun. That looked like a lovely chat.
How is the weather? I mean, it's a change actually in temperature now. I mean, it's so much milder.
It is much milder when you think of that freezing weather over the weekend,
not that long ago.
Which was not long ago. Well, the cold weather is coming back at the end of the week, so we're not quite done with it yet. At the moment, it's really overcast out there. We've seen a lot of mist and fog, and we're going to see more tomorrow as well. We did see the odd glimmer of brightness, this photograph taken in Buckinghamshire, but generally a lot of people saw scenes like this through the day, and they will see that again tomorrow. So the story really is one of mist and fog for tonight and tomorrow. Then it looks brighter but also colder, so a much colder end to the week. Chillier daytime temperatures and the return of frosts. So at the moment we've got high pressure right over the top of us, so not a lot of change in our weather pattern. Very settled weather, but light winds not helping to break up that mist and fog, and that's reforming this evening and overnight, so fairly limited visibility for some of us. Already parts of Norfolk and into Northamptonshire, some fairly dense fog here, and it will just become more limited in visibility as we go through the evening and night. There's also likely to be the odd spot of light rain or drizzle out of the thickest of the cloud, and most of us should be free of a frost overnight tonight. Temperatures around 4 or 5 degrees, but it's possible where we do get any clear breaks, perhaps across the north and west, we could just get a little bit closer to freezing here. So we start the day tomorrow with high pressure starting to migrate to the east, so changes on the way, but for tomorrow it looks as though for many of us where that mist and fog is, it will linger through the morning, slowly lifting into low-level cloud, and for some of us staying overcast for much of the day, perhaps just the odd glimmer of brightness here and there. It's still relatively mild, so temperatures around 8 or 9 degrees, perhaps a little bit cooler than it was today, and still that light southwesterly wind. And then as we get to the end of the week, changes on the way, freshening winds from the south, actually drawing up some colder air. So we will see brighter skies. We'll also see some chilly temperatures. There's still a risk of fog, however, so it's going to be quite difficult to predict where we'll get the sunshine, where the fog will linger. But certainly into the weekend, it could end up being fairly overcast and chilly, just 3 or 4 Celsius are daytime highs. The signs are that it could be a little bit milder into the start of next week and brighter, but in terms of overnight temperatures, we are chilly in 1 or 2 spots across the west tonight, and on the whole the trend is for temperatures to drop by day and by night, and we bring back the risk of frosts, and certainly Friday night looks like a cold one, some parts of the region down to -2 Celsius. So brighter on the way, but also colder once more. Amelia.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. Well,